Welcome to this special session on how to analyze mock cats. My name is Arks. As you can see, those of you are here, and listen to this carefully. Make notes of it, but not great notes of it. Some of this you can take a picture. Some of them make notes of what I am saying very carefully. You will get enough motivation. More importantly, you will get enough dope, enough information to plan the next 6 months and crack the exam called CAT. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. First agenda, very quickly. My agenda is, what are your concerns of the CAT mock takers or CAT takers itself? We have already heard so many of them. I'm going to talk about them a little and then give answers to that. Analyzing mocks like an expert. Somebody says, sir, it takes 3 hours for me to, or 4 hours, it takes a long time for me to, analyze this mock. Is it worth spending that kind of time? I'm going to talk about it and how do you analyze a little more deeper into it. We'll talk about that. And last, the most important things that you need to get from mocks is, how do you increase your marks? How would you increase your marks? Okay, some of the top concerns are very obvious. The first one, you're fearful of marks, you're fearful of the CAT itself, you're fearful of the percentile you'll get, you're fearful of the marks, you're fearful of quant, everything. Come on, yeah, big deal. First question I'm going to answer, and this is the first question that everybody has. Less than 6 months. I'm afraid that it is too late. This is one thing lots of people think of it. That's bullshit. You're kidding yourself. You are basically giving yourself an excuse. You're giving yourself an excuse that, yeah, let me fail. I'll tell I have less time. Have you ever looked at what is that you do in 24 hours? बहुत होता है 24 hours. One odd day you may not want to work, but that's okay. You have to do, so 2 hours a day, let's say you do 5 hours, 10 hours a week, you have plan the 10 hours. Plan the 10 hours. Don't plan 2 hours. एक हफ्ते के लिए plan करो and then get there. Don't worry about it. Somebody is saying, sir, I have not started my preparation. No problems. Finish your basics by August, September. No problems. Finally, kitna marks chahiye? If you understand that, you will not waste your time thinking all these things. Let's look at some of the, and very, very quickly, one of the same things. Everyone says mock analysis is important. How does one do it? That's my answer today. My mocks are not improving despite hours of effort. What should I do? Some of them answer this question. My QA VARC does not improve whatever I do. How do I select the right sets of DILR? How do I improve marks in this section? After writing a mock, what should my next steps? Various questions. All these questions are jaiz hai, real questions, good questions. At the same time, each of these questions have an answer. There is something called a systematic way of improving marks. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is, and today's session, I'm going to focus on today's session on 2 things. How do you do this? And what should your next steps be? The rest of this that you're talking about will be a part of it, not necessarily direct. But before writing a mock, the first thing is, I'm going to say, importance of writing mocks. A lot of people believe wrongly that I should finish my syllabus and then I start writing a mock. Otherwise, they will say, sir, kuch bhi nahi aata. I don't know anything in this exam. How will I get marks? And sir, I feel very dejected to see a very low percentile or a low marks. You feel that somewhere CAT is not for you. IIMs is a stupid dream that somebody put onto your brain, and I think you should get out of that. That is not something some of you will think. But you cannot be more wrong than this. You cannot be more wrong than this. It doesn't matter if you are starting off absolutely fresh today. You can still write mocks. How to write mocks? Strategy for writing mocks is a different session. But suffice it to say, get a 0, get a -30, get a 0 percentile, get a 20 percentile, get a 50 percentile, but keep writing mocks. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how when to write the mocks also. Even if you're starting fresh today, syllabus will never get over in this exam called CAT. This is something which I want you to start off with. This is out of 228 marks, 76 questions. This was CAT 20, and this is 300 marks. All these things. This is CAT 19, CAT 18, CAT 17, CAT 16. Please make a broad. These are all rounded off to the nearest integer. But here is something which I want you to look at it. First question that I'm going to answer, that some of you have asked, sir, do you think it's going to be a 2-hour paper or a 3-hour paper? Very difficult to guess, but if I were to guess, given background, given what happened last year and given what is happening this year, I believe 2-hour paper is what CAT 2021 is going to be, with a 95 percent confidence interval, I can say. There could be a possibility that 5% I am wrong, but 95% I can tell you that it's going to be most probably a 2-hour exam with 3 sections, probably giving you the same 76 questions, 26 in verbal RC, 24 in DILR, and 26 in quantitative ability, overall being 228 marks. Plus 3 marks for every correct answer, minus 1 for every wrong answer. The next important thing, if you want to get into as a gem college that I'm talking about, you will need this. So if you're looking at 228 marks, I am saying 114 marks. That's exactly half. And you will get 99.6 plus. You will get into an IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, or Calcutta, even if you are a general engineer male. 114 marks. That is it. If you can get 130 out of 228. Now you would say, sir, how difficult? I'm not even getting 30 marks. You're talking about 114 marks. Are you crazy? You might ask me that question. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm talking about. And you can get there. And I'm saying you can get there, provided there is a method in this madness. For every 3 days, one good way of improving, and if you can get 3 marks, you will easily get 130 marks. Usse zyada milega. Zero se. Provided you first believe that you can get there. You need to start believing that you can get there. You should start that, look, there is more than sufficient time for that. And actually, I'm telling you, there is more than sufficient time. When I used to write CAT, even till about 10 years back, people used to start preparing only 3 months, 4 months, 5 months before the CAT exam. The most important part of it, the next 20 minutes, very quickly, I want you to just keep listening to me. Don't worry about it. In fact, don't even see me. Look at what analysis already exists in CL. Do you even know what exists in Career Launcher's website? I'm going to showcase to you very quickly what is available and what you can do kind of things. For example, we have an overall scorecard, your performance analysis, within performance analysis for each of the areas. Then we also have what is your accuracy analysis, question and time analysis. This is the most important thing. Most important thing. Again and again, I'm saying this because this is the only place where you will improve majorly. ये तो कर ही देंगे मैं. I'm accuracy का आ जाएगा. But question time analysis is where your entire story changes. We will talk about it. And then probably the best feature that you will find, and I'm going to make it even awesome in the next 1 month. I can promise you. Is that fine? So this is what we have. Let me showcase to you what is there. I have taken one person's information. This is the scorecard we have. When you write a mock, when you finish or write a mock, this is an All India mock I've taken of a friend of mine, of a student of mine. You will know what is your score and what percentile. DILR, you will know what score. First, you will know what is your overall score and what is your overall percentile. You will know QA, what is your score, what is your percentile, and of course, the same total which is there here. Then the most interesting thing is overall performance analysis is there. Comparison of your marks with the average of the marks obtained by all the test takers. If you see, bhai, And the marks of the topper. The marks of the topper is big. Overall, somebody, a bloody joker, has made so huge marks. There will always be brilliant guys. One odd guy. Einsteins to mil hi jate hain. But you have to check average kya chal raha hai, mera kya chal raha hai. Average kya chal raha hai, mera kya chal raha hai. For some of you, it will be the reverse. Average yahan chal raha hai, mera yahan chal raha hai. Aisa kuch, I mean, sorry, the other way around. The average is here and my scores are here. No problems. First, get to average and then go to higher kind of things. Each one of these. This student is obviously a 97.2 percentile student. He is better than average of all the students in all his areas. Now let's say mock 1. I wrote this to people. I wrote this to people on my mock on that session, and I want to repeat this for things. And let's say the first mock I write, I get 0 marks. Most people will leave away saying that mera se cat nahi hone wala hai. But if I were you, I'm going to answer this question to you. That I was you sometime back in my life. But if I were you, I will never give up in life. I will never give up in life. I'll tell you why. I'll come back to this. For let's say quantitative ability. Somebody said I'm pathetic in quantitative ability and you got 0. I'm saying in the next mock, take 15 days gap before the next mock. Kriti, Suri, don't take every week. Don't take every day. 15 days le lo. 0 aaya hai. Next I want to like, can I get 1 question correct? 1 question correct? 3 marks. Then take another 15 days again and get 6 marks. 2 questions correct. Then take, by then 1 month is over. You are learning a lot of other things. You are preparing, but you are only focusing on 1 by 1. I am saying you can get 9, you can get 12, you can get 12 again, you can get 15, you can get 15 again, you can get 18, you can get 18 again. Within 10th mock, you can reach 18. Then you can get 21, you can get 21 in the next 2 mocks because 2 weeks gone or 6 days gone, 24 and 24, 27 and 27. Those of you who are very, very pathetic also can reach 30 marks by the time you finish M10. This is the worst case where you are really, really bad. And 30 marks in quant will give you 85 plus percentile. Somebody was asking me this question. At a 0 level to minimum 85 percentile. Minimum 85 percentile. But then you have to be good in something else also. Look at the score that is there on screen. 32 marks, this gentleman has got 97.8 percentile. 97.8 percentile. In an exam, in the real exam, it might reduce to 90 or 92. That's fine. If you are pathetic at it. But I don't expect that anybody is pathetic. All of us has done our 8th, 9th, and 10th. So the first thing that you need to is, don't give up here. Don't give up here. Don't give up anywhere. Don't give up anywhere. As long as you don't give up, you will see that, boss, you can get 99 plus percentiles. You can get 99 plus percentiles. One more thing in the scorecard which is important for you to look at it is this. You can check what score, if you go to your cursor and you want to know what 75 percentile is, you will know what score is. You can see this till almost 95, it is like curve like this. And after that, everybody is here. Same thing for most of this. Quant is also like this. DI is even like this. थोड़ा सा verbal में change होता है. थोड़ा सा verbal में change होता है. You will have to, after every mock, check where is your score, which is clearly given to you, and then what mark would have given you, how many more marks would have given you what. And that is very, very important to know where you can get. I will come back to, there is a concept I called the MPS, or my potential score. Now this is the second thing which is important. Your all questions in each section are divided into easy, medium, difficult. What are you attempting? What are you not attempting? Look at this guy. He has attempted 4 questions from the medium And I'm talking about this section 2 DILR. He has attempted 1, 2, 3, 4, of which three of them he got 4 correct, 4 attempt, 3 wrong, 1 correct, because he touched the medium and difficult questions. In the easy medium, he checked 4 questions. He got 3 correct and 1 wrong. Together, he got 4 correct and 2 wrong, which is 4 3 the 12 minus 2, 10 marks. 10 marks in this. I don't know whether you remember this or not. With 10 marks, that guy had a 75 percentile almost. At 10 marks, he had a 75 percentile almost. What I'm trying to say is, you need to figure out by how do I do it. Whereas look at section 1, he picked up all of them. Section 3, he picked up all easy questions. He unnecessarily touched this. This is okay, medium level. He shouldn't have touched it. Maybe he thought I'll take a tukka. That is what I'm trying to say. You need to get the easy, medium right. And that's not easy to figure out. Every mock you write, you figure out what you have missed out. He missed out easy sets. He did something else. He should not have, probably. Easy questions from the same set. Now, what else is there? Very, very quickly. This is what I call the, time analysis, the question time analysis. Each question, how much time you are giving is given to you. This is very, very important. Also, it is given for average of 90 plus percentiles. The guys who are getting 90 plus percentile, and what is their time and what is your time, that is kind of gives you. You will now know. Somebody asked me, sir, I am not able to look at all the questions, which means to say you are spending more time than you ought to spending in each of the questions. So wastage of time is happening. Then what else is there? This is drill down analysis. The more mocks you write as you go along, this will get added. This is for, let's say, 3 mocks. In reading comprehension, the entire reading comprehension questions can be based upon fact-based inference, inference-based main idea questions, or various kinds of things like that. So what is your correct percentage? Similarly, when you look at para-jumbles, this gentleman has 80% accuracy. Summary, para-summary, 20% accuracy only. 20% means only 1 correct out of 5. A lot of people get this one correct, whereas this gentleman has not got. So you will keep seeing how you can do better and better when you go into drill down analysis. You will need to know, boss, are you even attempting enough? Probably you need to attempt enough to be getting there. Then for data interpretation, matrix based questions, line charts, how are you doing? Puzzles, how are you doing? Venn diagrams, how are you doing? Like, for example, this gentleman, 8 questions, that is 2 sets. He has attempted 0 questions. Therefore, that means this is not his strength area. Now, 2 ways of looking at it. Maybe the 2 sets are very difficult, or he's not even looking at it. Wherever he's not attempting, that is not probably his strength area. Like, for example, missing data question, 2 questions he attempted, 0. So this will throw up, and more mocks you write, more better data will it throw up. That's what I was promising you. This, I will also make it intuitive, and I'll also make it conversational for you, so that you know intuitively what is happening on this. Similarly for quant, I'm not getting into the details, but are you good in averages? Are you good in functions? Are you good in inequalities? Are you good in maxima, minima? Like this. There is information given to you. Because this gentleman has written only 2 marks, there are not too much of information. But if you write more marks, it will happen. Now I come to the last part of it. I said this is next 25 minutes I'm going to take, where all of you are asking, how do you increase marks and mocks? So therefore, what should I do? So once you know the basic analysis, I'll go to look at slowly and steadily, how will these things improve? One is the concerns. That concerns I talked about. What is analysis available to you. Now let's look at how do you increase marks. There are only 2 ways that you can increase your marks. There are only 2 ways you can improve your marks. The first one is by attempts. Can you increase these? If you can't increase attempts, you will not be able to get marks. Somebody just now said my accuracy is very high. I'm not able to increase attempts. What is the point? Now I'm going to answer you this question. Let's say you're getting, just to give you an answer, 100 and let's say you want to get 34 questions correct, 0 wrong. This gives you 99 percentile. This was CAT 2020, guys. The total number of questions were 76 questions. The total number of questions were 76. 34 correct, 0 wrong. You will get a 99 percentile because this score is 102 marks. Because 34 into 3 is 102. Remember? I don't know whether you remember this or not. That's what I put it here at the very beginning. Remember? This is what I put it here. Yes. Look at this. I said this 102, 99 percentile marks. 34 questions you need to get correctly. 34 questions you need to get correctly. But you cannot get any mistakes. You cannot get any mistakes. Is this possible really? I don't think it's that easily possible. But can you get 35 correct and 3 wrong? This also will be giving you 1 or 2 marks. Or 40 correct and 18 wrong. This is possible probably. Or 41 correct, 21 wrong. That is 62 questions. Or 42 correct, 24 wrong. 43 correct, 27 wrong. Now look at this. This is 70. This is like 60, 70. And last I'm saying 44 correct and 30 wrong. 44 correct and 30 wrong will give you 44 into 3, that is 132 minus 30, 132 minus 30, which will give you the same 102 marks. 44 correct and 30 marks, that is 74 attempts. The total are 76. You will still get exactly the same percentile as this guy. Now, somebody says, now here is what I'm going to tell you about attempts. One very important thing before I go to the next part. Let's say there are 5 sets in DI and LR. Okay, I'm just telling you. Set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, set 5. You spent 11 minutes, 10 minutes on this. You spent 8 minutes on this. You spent 7 minutes on this. You spent 4 minutes on this. You spent whatever, 25, 29, 11 minutes on this. Let's say, I'm just giving you an example. Here you attempted 3 questions. What you have done, let's say there are 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 4, and 6. Let's say these are the number of questions. There are 24 questions, 6, 4, 4, 4, 6. That's the way it is normally kind of things. Now I'm saying, if you have spent like this, you wouldn't have given too much of time to this. Maybe one question you would have tried solving, but you wouldn't have done. But you did not mark. You did not mark. But here you marked 3, but there are 4 questions. Here you marked 2 questions. This is marking. You've solved, but you have marked only 2. You marked and maybe 3 questions. You marked 3 questions, let's say. But this is when you look at your analysis, this looks like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 attempts. But this is not the attempts. If you have spent time on all the 4 sets, then your attempt is this. 10 plus 10, 20 ka attempt hai tumhara. In the exam hall, you are seeing only 12, but in genuinely you have attempted 20. Of this 20, 8 you could not even attempt, If you had attempted, you might have got wrong, but could not attempt. What is this problem? This is the problem with this is knowledge. And out of this 12, you got 3 questions wrong and 9 correct, let's say. What is this problem? This is knowledge. What is this problem? Either a silly error or still knowledge. Only 4 questions that you did not attend properly. is the not attempt ratio. So when I am asking, when I am saying attempt, I am looking at how much time did you give it. You may not have attempted it, because if you had attempted it, you would have got a 0, negative. So use that as a negative for yourself. Unfortunately, I will not give you to in my analysis, but you need to look at it. Because if this happens, the only problem then I have, remember, my problem is if my attempts are good, the next problem is accuracy. Remember, my next problem or next thing is accuracy. Accuracy is knowledge. Accuracy is knowledge. Accuracy is practice. Accuracy is repetition. Accuracy is familiarity. The more familiar you are, the more repeated you are, the more practice you are, the higher knowledge you get, higher accuracy you get. But this will happen automatically. But this is why mocks are important. So when you write a mock, there are two reasons which are happening. One is whether your strategy is correct. Two, it's also kind of throwing up where are the lacuna, where are the knowledge gaps that you have, where you're not able to start. For example, somebody says, I'm very bad in quant. Why are you bad in quant? Some topic you're not good at, or many topics you're not good at. Don't worry about all the topics. 6 months are there right now, right? 6 months, 180 days. Every 10 days, can you ace one topic? There are only 18 topics in this entire quantitative ability, maximum 18 topics. That is what I'm saying. So this is the way to increase marks. How do you increase? Wait, I'm going to take you. How to increase? First, there is something called a question analysis. Please make a question analysis. You need to be disciplined in your writing exam. You need to figure out what is your plan versus actual, and where have you wasted time? How much wasted time? In fact, I started this session saying, bhai, 24 hours are there. Can you figure out what are you doing in this 24 hours? And look at how much of wastage is happening. Even if you're working for 11, 12 hours, there's 12 more hours, 8 hours you sleep, 6 hours you sleep, that's all you sleep. 6 hours are still there. In the 6 hours, can you pick up 2 hours, 3 hours? You can. The next thing I'm going to talk about is make your heat map better. Heat map. Note this word. This is what I'm introducing it, what you can do, which can really, really give you how you should do well kind of things. Heat map, those of you are in software and websites, you will know where the customer is going, how much of the customer is seeing. But I have something called a heat map for your CAT analysis also. We'll look at that very, very quickly. This is what I'm saying the analysis is. Make an Excel for yourself. Make an Excel for yourself, plan versus actual for each of the sections. I'm going to take it very, very quickly, not really very quickly, but I want you to make this for each of this analysis. This is example. This is an example. Reading comprehension, there are 4 RCs, PJs, OPJs, and PS. This was your plan. Add all the question analysis. Remember, there is a question analysis. I hope you are not forgetting this. This is something which I showed you. Remember, this will give you very clearly, and it will give you for DILR also, it will give you for quant also. But for VARC, it will give you, if the first passage is 6 questions, these are the 6 questions. How much time did you give it for this? Next 6 questions or next 4 questions, how much time did you give it for it? Likewise, make a note of this for yourself. Note of this for yourself. You have to go into an exam with a plan. I'm not going to give you the plan today. That is what strategy session I'm going to do. Let's say your plan is 30 minutes for RC and 10 minutes for verbal. What happened actually? You gave 33 minutes for RC and 7 minutes. This is the first problem that you will find. Why you are not getting marks? Because you are not disciplined. That you planned something and you did something else. Don't go without planning. Second, this was your plan. I thought you will do something like 30 minutes like this, but this is what happened. That means you did not even touch 4th RC. This was your supposed to plan. I'm just giving you, this is not necessarily correct, but I am saying, let's say this is what you want to do. What you did, what happened? What were the number of questions? What were the attempts you made? What are the corrects? And what is your net score? When you analyze this, from this you will understand 2-3 things. Where, first thing that you will analyze is, where is this going? Because of which, what happened to the number of attempts? Why the attempts have reduced? This attempts have reduced. Because attempts have reduced, your scores would have reduced. That is one hypothesis, not necessarily correct. The other hypothesis, because I have not done this, my scores are higher. That's a null, the alternate hypothesis. Those of you who understand statistics. But is that happening? Likewise for VARC. Do it for every mock that you're going to write. Every mock that you're going to write. And mock 1, mock 2, mock 3 for verbal RC. And you see plan versus actual, how you are improving, how you are developing. Similarly, I want you to do for DILR too. What was your plan for LR? What was your plan for DI? What actually happened? What was the plan? What action? And therefore, what happened to your attempts? Let's say you did not attempt, you did not plan to attempt. This is an example. This is an example. You might say, I wanted to do only 4. No problems. But did you do even 4? Did you do even 4? How did you do it? Strategy of attempting is not today's session. I will do this session very, very soon. But right now, I want to understand that how do you analyze this? You write it down. You will get to know where you're going wrong. Especially what you're going wrong is your plan versus actual. The discipline is going wrong. This is the first thing. Get the discipline first. Stick to the time limits that you give it to yourself. You will see the benefits that will come over a period of time will be very, very good. First, the strategy has to be right, of course. Or look at for quant. In quant, it is not easy. So look at how many questions were there in arithmetic, how many questions were there in algebra, how many were there in numbers. Let's say this is what happened. How much time? So add up all the arithmetic questions, add up all the algebra questions, and look at how many attempts you made out of this. This will give you a fantastic understanding about what is correct and what is wrong. You will know exactly what you should do. So this time analysis fundamentally gives you your plan versus actual. But if you don't even have a plan, then this actual ka matlab hi nahi hai. But have a plan. For quant also, you will have to have a plan. I told you, you need to have a heat map for each section. In fact, you go to CAT analysis. There is a section called CAT analysis. There is a section called CAT analysis of CAT 2020 analysis when you go to tests. Please go through this. There is a heat map. You will realize something what's happening across the country, across the world. Across the CAT test takers. You know, a lot of people don't attempt easy questions. And a lot of people, very unfortunately, attempt difficult questions. So in each section, let's say, and I'm telling you this, I'm taking for easy sake, quantitative ability. You know how many easy questions will be there in quantitative ability? At least out of 26, the total is 26. There will be nothing less than 12 to 13 questions. Medium level difficulty, there will be nothing less than 7 to 9 questions, and difficulty will be 4 to 5 questions. You look at what have you done. 51 was easy, you attempted. 52 was easy, you did not attempt. 53 was medium, you attempted. 54 was difficult, you attempted. 55 was medium, you did not attempt. 56 was easy, you attempted. 57 was difficult, you did not attempt. 58 was difficult, you did not attempt. 59 was medium, you did not attempt. 60 was you attempted medium. 61 you attempted easy. 62 was easy, but you did not attempt. Likewise, make this map for yourself for every question, for every section. One thing which I will try to do, if I can do this and give you a heat map, which is already their selection accuracy, within the next 4 weeks on your analysis itself. Make a heat map for yourself of unattempted and attempted questions. This will tell you once again where your strategy is going wrong. First one is time analysis strategy. Second one is your attempt place. Which questions you are wrongly attempting. These are all strategy. These are nothing to do with knowledge, guys. Knowledge is where you go back and spend time on individuals. But this will give you a very, very good idea about why क्यों marks नहीं मिल रहे हैं. why you are not getting marks, and you will understand that. Then you go back to these unattempted questions which are easy and then say, hey, could I have solved it? And that is where my next point comes in, that post mock, what is your potential score? What is your potential score? What is your Aukat score, I call it, or Gio sir calls it. What is your MPS? What is your MPS? How do you get this? Make a note of this, what I'm writing it down on screen, guys. After the mock is over, the first thing that I want you to do is, the exam is over. Don't look at solutions. Only look at what is right or wrong. Make a note of all the mistakes. So, right, section 1, VARC, DILR, QA. Make this thing, mistakes unattempted. So there are, let's say you have 6 mistakes you did. 3rd question, 7th question, 9th question, 15th question, 21st question, 27th, 24th question. Unattempted, 23rd and 26th, and maybe let's say one more, 16th question. So let's say this is 3 unattempted. Similarly, DILR, unattempted will be more normally. You will have something like 27, 28, 29, 30. Then you would have done 31, 32. Mistakes would have been 32, then 33, 34, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. ऐसा कुछ होगा. Something like this. Similarly, QA. What are the mistakes? Question numbers. These are all question numbers. In a small piece of paper like this, when your analysis comes, just to look at mistakes, what you have not attempted, just the number of mistakes. Where will you see it from? One of the this heat map you can make, but you make it later. This part, this will give you this. So you will know section 1 may 15, 18, 6, 15, 18 were mistakes. Sorry, mistakes were 21, 24, 25, 26. These are mistakes, and unattempted was 6, 15, 18. Likewise for each of these things. You make a simple table for yourself like this. Simple table for yourself like this. Simple table for this. Now, remember each section was 40 minutes. Give yourself 15 minutes per section. And what is your job? In this 15 minutes, first resolve all mistakes. If you still have time, then start doing unattempted questions. This is one thing you do. This is my first part. Make a note of this. The first part is resolve all the mistakes and some attempted questions. Why am I saying this? Then look at how many of these are now correct. Your Aukat score is, so all the mistakes, you will, that question time analysis, you would have got a lot of mistakes. And most of these mistakes will be worth 15 minutes or even more, 20 minutes worth. And all the scores that you have got would be less than 20 minutes or 25 minutes, except RC verbal. Now, the Aukat score or my potential score is if I replace those mistakes that you have done with these questions. Had you done this way, instead of doing another 15 minutes, how many more marks you would have got? You will be surprised. You will be surprised that each one of you can increase your marks in each section itself by nothing less than 10 to 15 marks. In some cases it will be more, some cases it will be less. Or overall you can increase from the actual score that you got to the Aukat score, or the my potential score as I call it, to at least 45 more marks. If you're getting 100, you could have got 145. If you're getting 45, you would have got 90. If you're getting 30, you would have got 75. Please understand, 75, 76 was your 90 percentile. Sorry, 95 percentile. Mind you, in last year's exam. 20, 30 mil raha hai, fir bhi ja sakte ho. And somebody getting 100 can go to 130, 140 also. Get a 100 percentile as somebody wants. My point I'm trying to make is, This is very, very important. Resolve all mistakes, all the, and wherever time, unattempted questions. Now, once you're done, then go back and solve, then without time. This is with time limit. 3 sections, 15 minutes into 3 sections, 45 minutes. After this, try solving all the unattempted, and if second time also you would have got mistakes in this, solve them again. Now, please understand, this will take you 45 minutes time. Okay, first writing it down will take you 10 minutes, 45 minutes for solving this, another 2 hours for trying to solve whatever is unattempted, while also looking at whatever corrects are. So the totally that I'm expecting is that you will spend 3 hours for every 2-hour mock. For every 2-hour mock, you will need 3 hours of analysis, of which 45 minutes is a retest, 15 minutes each from the mistakes, to check your my potential score. My potential score. These two things, my potential score and this heat map, will kind of really give you on a platter what should you be doing next. Stay safe, all of you. Wish you all the very best.